Hey everyone, it's Anna and I'm back with an entire stack of vintage cookbooks. I've been collecting vintage cookbooks since I was probably about 11 or 12 years old. I was a bit of an unusual child and I still collect them today. So I thought it would be really fun to share a few of my recent finds with you. Let's start with the Pillsbury Busy Lady Bake Off Recipes. The title, everybody. I mean, that is really what drew me in here. Pillsbury took some of their winning bake-off recipes and made them easier to make, added some shortcuts, that kind of thing. Flipping through this book though, they're not shortcuts, they really aren't. I'm actually gonna review this one pretty soon, so I'll save a little bit more of my commentary for the video. So next are a couple of cookbooks that I already own, and I don't usually deliberately purchase doubles. You might remember this one with the grape surprise salad. I mentioned that this one happens to be a reprint, and I found a copy that was published in the early 60s. So the original book was published in 1955. This one was published in 1963. So it's a little bit closer to the original publication date. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So the other book that I already happen to have is this one. And I've mentioned this book before, I have not reviewed it. This was the cookbook that I remember the most from my childhood. And you can see, like, it's well loved. I mean, I think that Dottie chewed this part when she was a baby because I've just carried it along with me through life. We've got like food on the pages, that kind of thing. I will keep this copy, of course, but I happened to find this one and it's a little bit newer. It's got like a spiral binding in it. So, you know, it's exactly the same. It's just in a little bit better condition than the one that I own already. This one, I'm not sure exactly what I want to make from it yet, but it's pretty interesting. So we have the Blender Cookbook. It's Better Homes and Gardens Blender Cookbook. I mean, just from the back, it looks like they're really trying to use a blender for just about anything. Tasty blender recipes for every course, party foods and drinks, how to make leftovers appetizing with a blender, quick and easy tips. So this one just kind of got me with the name itself. Ground Beef Roundup. This one is from the late 70s. It was published by Farm Wife News. So just between all of those things, it seemed like the perfect book for me to pick up and add to my collection. And then this one, it didn't have a date. I would say late 50s, early 60s. The New Walnut Cookbook. So this one comes courtesy of Diamond Walnuts, and I think it must be a cousin to Nuts, 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 you know, one of the cookbooks that I got for my birthday. Love this illustration on the front too. I think that's very cute. A lot of desserts. I didn't see a lot of savory like dinner recipes in here. There's a few salads. Gourmet ways with main courses. So not sure what I'm gonna make from this one just yet, but again, it kind of fit the bill regarding the things that I like when I'm shopping for vintage cookbooks. So I have one more that I wanted to share, and I think it's the one that I'm the most excited about. So this is The Joy of Cooking, and this edition was published in 1943, and I got it for 50 cents, which, I mean, I snatched that up like you wouldn't believe how fast. I really love The Joy of Cooking. I have one of the like early 2000s reprints. It's one of those cookbooks that it's just a good basic to have. Like it has the base recipe for just about anything that you can think of, and then they throw in a few variations. Anytime I don't know how to make something that I probably should know how to make, like I go to that cookbook. Even if it's just something like French press coffee, like I don't drink hot coffee, I drink iced coffee, so I don't always remember what the proportions are, and it is in that book. It's beautiful. The cover is beautiful. It's a little delicate, you know, the binding is broken here, but it's still very usable. Ooh, someone did chomp these take a chomp out of these pages a little bit in the salad section. Who needs the salad section? And there's a couple of like newspaper and magazine clippings in here. So added bonus. Let me see if I can find one of those. So someone just sort of pasted to the top of this page a clipping for Honey Graham's cream pie. So I think that's probably like a cream cheese pie with a graham cracker crust. And Nestle Road pie and coconut crust, which I'm not really sure what that is, but you know, hey, I can find out because this cookbook is mine now. I've also had some questions about where I find my vintage cookbooks. Growing up, I lived in a very small town, very rural area in general, and the thrift stores were usually kind of chock full of them there. Some of the population in my area was a little bit older, and so there would be like a lot of people moving into smaller homes or apartments and cleaning out their big houses and just trying to get rid of everything. everything. So that was like the prime time for me to start collecting. Where I live right now, I don't see this as much. The big thrift stores like Goodwill, occasionally I will find something there. I think I got the Blender cookbook there. I just don't see that many. Typically where I find them in my area is small antique stores that are sort of combination antique handmade gift shops. Usually the prices are a little bit better there. I can get something really nice for like $1 each, you know, maybe a few dollars, maybe $3, $4 if it's a big book. I have a lot of luck there. I also do occasionally travel back to my hometown and hit the little thrift stores there. I tend to have better luck at thrift shops that are one-off. Maybe it's run by a church or a hospital. Those I get a little bit better result. In fact, I found this edition of The Joy of Cooking at a hospital thrift shop. So you kind of just have to explore your own area. Where I am now, there are a lot of people who scoop these things up, purchase them, and then resell them. And so that's kind of why I think maybe there's not as much around here. I don't usually order them online. Some people do. I did get my 1971 recipe card library on eBay. So if you're looking for one, it's a good place to check. Sometimes I go to used bookstores. The only one we have around here is Half Price Books, and they don't usually have very many vintage cookbooks. They have a lot of other like more modern cookbooks. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I can find one in like the clearance section because nobody else wants it. I always want them, so I'll pop in there occasionally and take a look. Before I go, there's something I wanted to mention. Some of you already know I am moving from Ohio to California. And hey, if you didn't know, I'm moving from Ohio to California. So this is a pretty big move because of the situation, the way that it is set up. There's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to film and edit new videos for several weeks. So right now I am trying to pre-record some videos, bank a little bit of content so that I can schedule these out. So if you happen to see a video pop up and you think that doesn't seem like it's in the right order, that's probably why. In fact, the video you're watching right now is probably recorded several weeks ago. I'm also, trying to come up with maybe some ideas for some short videos. I'm thinking about documenting our move a little bit, if that's something that people would want to watch. But for now, I'm just cranking out the videos and scheduling them ahead of time. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch my videos, to come back every week. I really, really appreciate it. If you like this video, you might like my other videos and you might consider subscribing. I try to publish new content every week. Thanks again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.